Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marta. I come from Norway and I love makeup. And today I'm going to show you how I press my Tammy Tanuka pigments. And for that you basically need three things. So you need a binder, and you need some alcohol, and obviously you need also some pans to store the pigment in. And it's also nice to have a spatula, but you don't need it because there's obviously a lot of other things that you probably already have that you can use. A little bit more about the binder. I just did some research when I wanted to press my pigments, and this is the one that I ended up with, and I'm really happy with it. It has worked great on all my pigments that I have pressed so far, and yeah, I don't really have any experience with any other binders. So then you would have to do your research yourself. As for the alcohol, you want something as high percentage as possible, just to be able to not put any other ingredients into your pigments. And for the pans, I can leave a couple of links to pans that I have bought. I don't really remember which I find the best. I don't really care that much about how magnetic they are and stuff. So yeah, you can also buy from TKB Trading if you live in the States, or internationally if you don't mind paying a lot for shipping. And they have both pans and a binder, but I have heard that people using the binder have had a couple of issues with their black-based pigments and multi-chromes, so just be a little bit aware of that. As for the pigments, as you can see, I have already lined them up. I had two different orders, so I lined them up in the different orders so I can find the English names. So what I usually do is I just look at the little sticker that they have where they have the Russian name, and then I either go and compare it to the pigment on the Sigil website or to my order, and I just find out the name. So what I've done now is I've actually just saved all the pigments that I have bought in a Pinterest board that I can leave a link to down below. And then I can just go to the Pinterest board and I will see the Russian name and of course the color, and then I will just go to the link and then I will find the English name. So then I will just end up writing that on some stickers that I bought. You don't need the stickers, they are paper, so it's almost just better to have them on the pan. Just write like directly on the pan with waterproof, I don't know what you call it, like a Sharpie. And once I have the names, I just make sure I don't move the order of the pigments, and then I can just start pressing basically. So I have bought both matte pigments and of course a lot of sparkly ones. So I can just go ahead and show you how I do the matte ones first. It's so simple. For that you will need a pressing tool though. And as I said, you can get pressing tools and all that kind of stuff on TKB Trading, but I just got this coffee tamper on Wish. It's size 24 millimeters, so it can just fit into the pan. And obviously this is a little bit loose on the edges, so you have to like move it around a little bit, but it's very simple what I do. I just put all of the pigment into the pan. Then, like I usually do when I repan mattes, I just like tuck them down into the pan. And I mostly do this just to avoid product like going up the edges of the pan. Once that's done, I just put a paper on top. This is just normal toilet paper. And then I try to place the tamper in the middle of the pan, and then I press like very hard. And then I just end up going around, like holding it down of course, and then going around the edges to make sure I press it. And in the end, once I've gone the whole round, I just go to the middle again and press really hard. And then you have your matte pigment pressed, and always try to like tap. You will usually like have a little bit of fallout, but you shouldn't have too much. So here you have it, your pressed matte pigment. So it's really quick and simple as long as you have a tamper tool. So I'm just going to put the name on this one, make sure I don't have like a lot of pigment underneath, and there it's all done and ready to be put into your empty magnetic palette. So now for the shimmers, I do it a little bit different than I used to because I want to do it a little bit more efficiently. So what I do is I just put the binder, and this pigment that I'm pressing, it's 1 milliliter, so then I use 2 drops of binder. By adding the binder first, you will also avoid having too much binder, so I really like that. And then I'm going to add alcohol, and for 1 milliliter I approximately use like maybe 15 to 20 drops of alcohol, and for 0.5 milliliter I think I use 1 drop of binder and maybe like 10 drops of alcohol. I'm not really sure. And then once I have both binder and alcohol in the pan, I'm going to mix it, and then I'm ready to just pour the pigment inside the pan. So before I used to like mix in the jar, but the binder actually makes the jar crack, and also you don't have that much pigment left in this jar when you have it dry, when you take it out. But when you put binder in it, of course it's going to stick more to the jar as well. So I just really like to mix in the pan when it's possible. So as you can see, this is still quite dry. I managed to spill the pan out on the side, so we don't have that much of the alcohol left. So I'm just going to add quite a few drops, and you want to have it like so that it's not too wet, but that you can like this is perfect. Once you press it down and you see that it turns like this, then you'll have like a wet paste, and this is exactly the kind of consistency you would want. You can have it a little bit drier, but you want to be able to actually mix the binder in, because especially now that I did add more alcohol, I want to make sure that the binder is actually distributed throughout the pigment. And if you have your pigment less wet than this, you might see that it does not look that flat and pretty, so then you can just do like this and it will like even out by itself. Also, you can like wipe the product that you got on your spatula on your hand, and you can just swatch the pigment and see how beautiful it is. Obviously in this lighting you can't really see that much, but I can see that this has like a shift to blue and green and almost a bit pink, but it has a gray base, so it's really pretty. I think this pigment is called Collector of Seashells. So I just finished all of the pressing, and I just put them in this huge palette that I had with some Tammy Tanuka, but that I wanted to fill up with the rest that I have here. So basically all of those on this side is like they are new, and the others are old, or not old, but the ones I had from before. So that's the finished pressing, and it's just so satisfying to look at. If you're also wondering like how much the mats fill up, I can show you from the side. So they fill up about this much. I would say it's a little bit above half a normal pan. And for the shimmers, it's like you can see some of them are like super full, but others have a little bit less. So a couple of them are just 0.5, so they will have less product in them. So this is the one that's called, I think, yeah, Sultana of My Heart, and you can see that that is, I would say maybe half, maybe a little less, but it's still more than enough product to like swatch a few times and use a lot. So you definitely don't need 1 milliliter if they have an option of 0.5, but it is easier to press them if they are 1 milliliter. But as you can see, like most of them fill up pretty nicely in the pan, so that's 1 milliliter. But I guess that's it for this video. I hope that it was somewhat helpful for you, and if you have any kind of questions, just leave them down below in the comment section and I will try to answer as good as I can. And thank you so much for watching. Remember to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you're not already subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!